when you think back, I mean, I was doing some of that this weekend because I actually went to the Grand Canyon this past weekend. And I had never been to the Grand Canyon.
Well, how deep was it?
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to tell you what, the Grand Canyon, I had an idea in my mind of what it might look like, and I was not even close.
Really? I have that same idea, probably.
Not even close, Pat George. I mean, if you get, you really ought to go out there.
Did you get butterflies and you're looking down?
More than butterflies. I mean, it's just, you could sit there and look at the thing, in my opinion, all day long.
Wow.
There's so many different places to focus your eyes, and it is so much bigger than you could possibly imagine. I mean, it's so much bigger. I mean, I've seen big canyons and big gorges in my day. I've gone and looked at a few in different places, and not even close to
And what made that? Water cutting through all of that?
I mean, that's what they say over millions and millions of years. If you see the water, and I mean, you can barely see it most of the time. Most of the viewpoints, and I don't know what it looks like from the north rim, because I was on the south rim of the canyon, but from the south rim, you basically see a big canyon, but there's another further canyon that you can't really see down into, and that's where the river is.
And the temperature's different down there at the very bottom.
Apparently at the bottom it's quite warm once the sun comes out. I mean, at the top, you're up 5,000 or 6,000 feet, so you got 20 or so degrees Fahrenheit less than the surface temperature. So it's very tolerable up on the rim. But my understanding, I mean, one of the wardens was saying that if you got down into the bottom and the base of it, that it gets up in the summer to about 140 degrees. So it almost make you want to jump in the river. But I understand, of course, when you're up top and you look at the river, it all looks very kind of peaceful and navigable. But if you'd actually go down there, it's got quite a lot of force to it.
And did you go there just for that stop?
That stop, I went there. I was just knocking around, doing some hiking, and we had the option to kind of stay in Sedona, where we were hiking on
that's pretty nice.
Friday. Sedona's beautiful. I mean, beautiful. Never been to either place. In fact, never set foot in the state of Arizona until this past weekend. And but I'm glad we went to the canyon because that was just awe-inspiring. And we did a couple of neat hikes out there. Got some great vantage points. I mean, it's really good if you go out there to try to do a little bit of a hike out to the rim. Because if you just go to the main area, I mean, it's almost like Disney World there. I mean, there are just so many people at the visitor center. They've got these parking lots. They just filled up. We got there really early.
What did it cost to go?
Well, we had a national park pass, so nothing.
Okay.
So we got in with the park pass. So those are only $80 a year. So those, if you like to go to these big-time national parks, which are quite expensive to get into on a day-to-day basis, the normal car fee is $35, which is not terrible.
Still $35 to just drive through a park, but it's not just a park.
Yeah. But if you get the $80 pass, you can get into all the parks. And so particularly if you're going to go out west where there are some really, fantastic parks.
Hiking scares me very bad because of rattlesnakes. Did you see anything like that?
No, and I had my eyes peeled. I was looking for some snakes.
Right.
When I was in Santa Fe and hiking around Bandelier National Park, we got to see a western diamondback rattlesnake. Quite close to the trail, in fact, and he was pretty agitated.
Oh, boy.
And, of course, I've got my story from a few years ago where I got to meet an eastern diamondback rattlesnake up close and personal.
I think I
told you that story.
I don't remember that story.
Yeah. I was out knocking. This is close to home. This is in Brooksville type area.
Okay.
Out in the woods, and ran into an eastern diamondback and didn't realize that I had crept up on it. Luckily, it was a pretty cold day, and so he was slow to react to me being there.
Good for you.
But I was standing there doing something, and as I was standing there, I heard a strange sound, and I just remember thinking, I wonder what kind of animal makes that sound. and then I looked down, and here was a pretty large eastern diamondback, and he was all coiled up, sitting with his head erect, like he was getting ready to...
This is a nightmare to me.
Oh, like he was getting ready to hit me on the leg, and he was literally about a foot away from me. So, I did a maneuver that I've never seen myself do
This
before.
is why I go to Epcot.
Where you can actually, all the snakes are friendly at Epcot, right?
They're not going to get you. Right, and if they do come after you, they're not getting anywhere close. They're going to scare you for a second and bounce right back about 400 times a day.
Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.